As we all know, mines are strange and unpredictable places. These deep cuts into the earth can lead to massive fortunes, but just as often they come with disasters, deadly tales, and creepy stories of monsters and madness. Still, that doesn't stop curious explorers from venturing into old, forgotten shafts, hoping to stumble on something incredible. From a mind-blowing purple gemstone to a glittering prize that left jaws on the floor, here are the 15 most amazing treasures found in private mines. And trust us, you won't believe your eyes when you see them. Let's start off with number 15, cobalt. Some treasures come with a price, and not the kind you see on a tag. Cobalt might be powering your fancy electric car or your sleek new phone, but the human cost buried behind it is brutal. Deep in the mines of the Democratic Republic of Congo, cobalt is pulled from the earth not by machines but by human hands, many of them worn, bleeding, and young. Up to 200,000 artisanal miners, often working without safety, protection, or rights, risk their lives every single day for this mineral. It's strange to think the shiny symbol of a green future is tied to so much suffering. Cobalt is essential in batteries, and as the world pushes toward cleaner tech, the demand is only climbing. But while companies cash in, the miners, the ones living in dust and danger, are left with scraps. So the next time someone flashes their sustainable lifestyle, remember that blue rock fueling the revolution didn't come from a clean place. It came from somewhere no one wants to look at or even talk about. And that's the reality of today's humans. Number 14. Topaz out in Utah. The Utah sun is brutal, the terrain unforgiving, and the work never ends. But for one YouTuber known as the Crystal Collector, it finally paid off. After weeks of digging through dusty ridgelines and stubborn rock, he cracked into a vein that shimmered with golden fire. What he had hit wasn't just a lucky find, it was topaz, real, natural topaz, in the kind of condition collectors dream about. Utah's mountains hide a surprising amount of this gemstone, especially the rare golden yellow kind. But topaz doesn't show off easily. It's buried deep, often mixed in with quartz and other minerals that dull its shine. Once pulled free and cleaned though, it flashes with the warmth of autumn sunlight. In medieval Europe, topaz was thought to protect travelers and banish curses. Romans believed it could cool tempers and heal fevers. Folklore aside, the Crystal Collector had found something real proof that if you dig long enough, even unforgiving land eventually gives something back. But it needs effort, money, and a lot of time. Number Drazen quartz. Back in Arkansas at the weather-beaten Hamilton Hill mine, the Crystal Collector returned. Not for fame, not for show, but because something ancient still pulsed beneath the rock. This wasn't a quick dig. It took weeks of work, chipping through dense stone with the kind of patience most people don't have anymore. Eventually, he found it, a massive cluster of quartz emerging from the wall like a spine of glass. Quartz is everywhere, sure, but not like this. This wasn't the polished, cut stuff you see in tourist shops. This was raw, natural, and untouched for millions of years. Clear, pointed crystals were growing together like a frozen explosion. Cultures across time, from Irish tomb builders to Aboriginal shamans, have seen quartz as more than just a mineral. In Ireland, it was called the sunstone. In indigenous lore, it was used to channel spirits. Holding that freshly unearthed cluster wasn't just holding a rock. It was holding silence, pressure, time, and the memory of the earth itself. Number 12. Giant gold nugget. Some stories sound fake until you see the photo. A guy was messing around near an old, crusty mine entrance, tossing a ball for fun. Nothing special. Then the ball rolled into the dark, down into the forgotten shaft like it had somewhere to be. The guy goes in after it, and instead of just finding his beat-up ball, he locks eyes with something unreal. A massive gold nugget just sitting there like it was waiting for him. It wasn't a flake. It wasn't dust. It was a chunky golden beast of a rock. And the most awesome thing about this is that nobody else had touched it. No tools, no theft, no tag claiming it for some mining company. Just him, the gold, and the dumb luck of a ball rolling into the right hole. The internet debated whether it was real or staged, but the nugget's weight did the talking. Real gold doesn't lie. And sometimes treasure doesn't wait to be hunted. It throws itself at your feet. All right, guys. Now let's talk about something good. Number 11. Citrine. In a crumbling mine that hadn't seen daylight in decades, a miner uncovered something weird, a patch of rock cemented over like someone had deliberately sealed it. Maybe they meant to come back. Maybe they never could. But when he chipped through that makeshift tomb, what spilled out was sunlight in stone, bright golden citrine, embedded in the wall like a forgotten offering. Citrine is a form of quartz tinted yellow to amber by iron. Most of what you find on the market is heat-treated amethyst, but natural citrine, that's rare. And this stuff looked pure. It's long been called the merchant stone, said to attract prosperity and deflect negative energy. The Romans carved it into talismans. The Scots set it in dagger hilts. Today, it still carries that glow of warmth and value. The fact that someone once hid it behind cement only deepens the mystery. Maybe they couldn't extract it. Or maybe they simply understood its worth and chose to keep it secret. Number 10. Opal. Australia's outback isn't just dust and wild kangaroos, it hides treasures that shimmer like magic. Two veteran opal miners, Aaron and Greg, alongside their mate Cole Duff, struck luck with a find that'll go down in their personal history books. 8,000 pounds worth of crystal boulder opal ripped right out of ancient rock earned them a serious payday and something even rarer, real miner's pride. Opals have always had a strange aura. They don't just shine, they throw colors at you like a light show caught in stone. Ancient myths said opals held every gem's power in one. Some claimed they could make you invisible if you held one in a fresh bay leaf. Others thought they brought bad luck. The truth is, they're just weird, beautiful stones with a mind of their own. This wasn't a polished, store-bought sparkle. This was raw, iridescent fire forged deep underground, uncovered by guys with calluses, grit, and just the right swing of the pickaxe. That's the kind of find money can't fake, but if you have a lot, then it can be. Number 9. Gold Nugget. Jason Sanchez wasn't a miner. He was just a dad, out exploring the Nevada desert with a metal detector and not much else. It was his first real trip into a mine site, one of those forgotten places that looks like trouble and opportunity had a baby. And somehow, in the middle of this broken patch of earth, he found it. A fat, gleaming nugget of pure gold. Not flakes, not dust. The real thing. The nugget weighed in at over $5,000 in value, but the real treasure was the moment itself. People spend their whole lives chasing gold. Some dig for decades and come up empty. Jason found it on a whim. Gold nuggets form naturally, usually in riverbeds or areas where gold veins have eroded over centuries. This one had likely been waiting for 1,000 years. And while it wasn't as big as the legendary Welcome Stranger, it didn't need to be. For Jason, it was proof that sometimes beginner's luck hits hard. If you also want to win gold nugget, then pray to God. Number 8. Turquoise. The guy who found this turquoise vein had every reason to celebrate until he took the hammer too far. Deep inside an old mine, surrounded by nothing but shadows and rocks, he hit a patch of vibrant blue that nearly glowed in the dark. That unmistakable surreal shade of turquoise. Ancient cultures once carved gods out of this stuff. And there it was, raw and untouched. But the excitement does dumb things to smart people. Instead of gently pulling the pieces out, he got trigger happy and smashed some of it to rubble. The internet roasted him for it, and fair enough. That kind of color, that density, it doesn't show up every day. Turquoise has always carried that ancient magic. The Aztecs, Egyptians, Persians, everyone wanted it. It meant protection, status, and power. And unlike the synthetic garbage flooding the market today, this was the real deal. Pure, earth-grown, untouched by polish or plastic. He still came out with treasure, but man, he could have had even more. What do you think about this? Well, let us know. Number set. Largest Tanzanite gemstone. In the shadows of the Mererani Hills, a group of miners stood at the edge of a gamble. They drilled, blasted, and clawed their way through unforgiving rock, chasing a violet shimmer they couldn't prove was there. Then one of them spotted a massive chunk of stone, dark, jagged, and oddly smooth. It looked out of place. When the hammer bounced off it without leaving a scratch, the truth set in. It wasn't just a rock. It was pure, unbroken tanzanite. Weighing over 20 pounds, this was the largest single piece ever pulled from Tanzania's underground vault. It took days to extract, and the moment it hit daylight, the entire crew knew they'd crossed into something rare. Tanzanite only forms in this region of the world, and only under extreme conditions. It's rarer than a diamond, more elusive than an emerald, and impossible to fake at this scale. What they uncovered wasn't just treasure. It was geological history wrapped in deep royal blue. Number 6. Sapphire. Out in the rugged terrain of Australia, a sapphire deposit was discovered that didn't just sparkle, it stunned. A team of dedicated miners, armed with heavy-duty gear and raw determination, unearthed a striking stash of blue sapphire that turned the dust into fortune. But this wasn't your average glittery gem shop find. This was raw, untouched earth beauty, the kind that doesn't apologize for its flaws. Sapphire's got history. It's not just a pretty face on a ring. It's been used in everything from royal seals to infrared tech. It can handle pressure, survive heat, and still look regal doing it. In the Middle Ages, bishops wore sapphires as symbols of truth and purity. Pope Innocent III even demanded bishops seal their confessions with sapphire rings, as if the stone could silence scandal. Today, that same deep blue fire still grabs the eyes of collectors and jewelers alike. But before it's cut, sold, and worn, someone had to pull it from the rock with patience, sweat, and a little luck. Number 5. Gold. Dan Hurd didn't get the memo that the gold rush ended a century ago. He's out there, hammer in hand, camera rolling, crawling through old, half-collapsed mines, like it's still 1849. The guy's relentless, and this time while sifting through the rubble of the long-abandoned Midway gold mine, he actually struck real gold. Not flakes or fantasy, actual, tangible pieces of gold pulled from the earth. It's strange seeing something so historic still delivering. The California gold rush built towns, collapsed others, and buried thousands in dreams they never caught. Most walked away broke or broken. But here's Dan, decades later, pulling fortune out of dust. He's not alone either. Gold's still hiding in cracks, waiting for the patient and the stubborn. And watching him dig it up, it's like watching the past punch through the present. No fanfare, no crowd, just rock, sweat, and silence, until that first sparkle breaks through and you realize, yeah, gold still rules. He was a lucky guy. What if we can't even find a rusted coin? Now let's move to Number 4. Diamonds. Tucked in Arkansas lies a patch of land where diamonds don't just exist, they practically grow. The crater of Diamond State Park is one of the only places on Earth where the average person can walk in and walk out with a diamond. And sometimes, they do. A lucky group recently hit the jackpot, finding a rare fluorescent diamond glowing under UV light like it was showing off. Diamonds aren't just pretty, they're bulletproof. They're the hardest natural substance we know. They cut through metal, survive insane heat, and contain atomic arrangements so tight they make other minerals jealous. That sparkle you see in a ring? That's pressure, time, and chaos crystallized. This diamond, found by amateur hands, isn't just a stone, it's a story. Billions of years old, hiding beneath layers of dirt, it waited until someone with zero training but a good eye and a bit of stubbornness found it. If you want to try your luck at diamond hunting, well, there are a few places around the world that you can visit. Number 3. Ruby. Buried deep inside an ancient mine once left to time, a ruby was pulled from the dust by a lone treasure hunter working in Asia. The mine had sat untouched for centuries, the path nearly swallowed by the earth itself. But when the red shimmer finally broke through the rock, it was as if the stone had been waiting. This wasn't just any ruby, it had that unmistakable blood-deep glow rich with centuries of symbolism. Rubies belong to the corundum family, and their signature hue comes from chromium dancing inside the crystal. In ancient China, warriors believed rubies brought power, honor, and protection. They were carved into armor, tucked into scabbards, and buried beneath temples to attract good fortune. Some texts even say rubies were traded along the Silk Road as early as 200 BC, passed hand to hand like sacred fire. And in Hindu astrology, they're believed to channel the sun itself. This one wasn't just a gemstone, it was a pulse of history. Number 2. 800-pound emerald. In Brazil's Carniba mine, buried over 600 feet below the surface, miners uncovered something that left jaws permanently dropped, a towering 794-pound emerald cluster. This wasn't some fancy gem sitting in a display case. This was a literal boulder of emerald 4.3 feet tall, raw and mesmerizing, ripped from the depths by 10 men over a week of non-stop labor. The discovery shook the gem world. Estimated at over $300 million, the emerald now belongs to a private owner who remains completely anonymous. And for good reason, owning something this valuable makes you a target. The cluster is moved constantly, locked down like it's gold from a heist film, and protected behind more paperwork than a federal vault. Carniba is known for birthing legends in stone, and this emerald may be the crown jewel of them all. Found in the state of Pernambuco, it now sits somewhere in silence, priceless, powerful, and hidden from the world. Some treasures aren't meant to be displayed. They're meant to just disappear. Number 1. Amethyst worth $50,000. These Canadian guys weren't just casually poking around in a mine, they went all in. Pickaxes swinging, hands blistered, dirt in places dirt shouldn't be, all for the off chance of a serious score. And guess what? It paid off. They pulled out a jaw-dropping amethyst chunk worth a cool 50 grand. That's not pocket change. That's retirement goals in purple. Amethyst has always been a show-off. It gets its name from the Greek word amethystos, meaning not drunk. Supposedly it kept people sober. Well, in reality it doesn't. But what does it do? Well, it looks absolutely unreal. Once prized by royals, warriors, and high-ranking clergy, this purple quartz was basically the VIP section of the gem world. Canada's Ontario even claimed it as their official gem. And honestly, fair enough. Pulling something like this from the earth feels like stumbling on buried magic. The fact it's also worth the price of a luxury car? Just a bonus. What do you think about it? Well, let us know in the comments below. And we always say if you enjoyed watching this video, be sure to like and subscribe. And also don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any of our latest content. Thanks for tuning in with us, and we'll see you soon.